The Ural Mountains, a vast wilderness of snow, rock, and silence. The native Mansi people call one pass there Kholat Syakhl, Mountain of the Dead. In 1959, it lived up to its name. 9 young Soviet hikers, strong, smart, experienced, set out into the white unknown, and none of them came back alive. They were students from the Ural Polytechnic Institute, led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student with dreams carved from ice and discipline. He handpicked his team, 8 others, all trained mountaineers, all ready for the challenge of a lifetime. Their goal? To reach Mount Otorten, a remote, wind-scoured peak deeper into the northern Urals. It was supposed to be routine, challenging, yes, but not deadly. On January 25th, they boarded a train to Ivdel. From there, they vanished into the forest, skis gliding across snow, hearts warm with youth, journals filled with hope. One man, Yuri Yudin, turned back early due to illness. He would be the only one to survive. The rest would meet a fate history still cannot explain. Weeks passed. No contact. No return. By February 20th, families demanded a search. And what they found would chill Russia to the core. The tent was found first, half buried in snow, torn open from the inside, as if something had forced them to flee into the night, barefoot, in temperatures below -30 degrees Celsius. Some ran toward the forest, others staggered, some fell, and when they were found, scattered across the slope, their bodies told a story the living could not. One had a fractured skull, 2 had broken ribs, one woman's tongue was missing, and another's eyes were gone. No one could say what happened. There were no signs of struggle, no footprints but their own, no weapon ever found, just horror, frozen in time. Some whispered avalanches, others blamed military experiments, or escaped prisoners, or something older that lives deep in the mountains and doesn't want to be found. But whatever it was, it struck in the dark, it tore through trained hikers, and it left a puzzle unsolved to this day. Next time, we walk the trail they left behind. We enter the tent. We follow the footprints into the trees. And we try, if we dare, to see what they saw before the snow buried it forever. The mountains do not lie. They simply keep secrets. And on the snow-covered slopes of Kholat Syakhl, the wind carried a secret it refused to surrender. It began with a canvas tent, half buried, torn open from the inside, not by weather, not by accident, but by fear. Inside, searchers found what the hikers left behind: boots, jackets, packs, their shoes, untouched, their belongings, neatly arranged. Whatever had driven them into the sub-zero night, it made them leave everything. 9 sets of footprints trailed away from the tent. No signs of a struggle. No predator tracks. Just bare feet. And panic. Some staggered. Some ran. But none returned. The first 2 bodies were found at the edge of the forest. Yuri Krivonischenko and Georgy Doroshenko, lying near the remains of a fire. They were barefoot, in underwear, skin burned, fingers blackened with frostbite. Above them, the trees were torn and broken, as if something had climbed, or fallen, or leapt. Not far away lay Igor Dyatlov, the leader, face frozen in grim determination, fists clenched. Then Zina Kolmogorova, found face down in the snow, her body stretched toward the tent, as if crawling back to safety. She never made it. Rustam Slobodin was next, a fractured skull. No signs of struggle, but the injury would have left him disoriented, dying slowly in the dark. That left 4 still missing. Weeks passed. Snow kept falling. Then, in May, nearly 3 months later, the last 4 were found. They were buried deep in a ravine, crushed, their bodies broken. Ludmila Dubinina, ribs shattered, tongue missing, eyes gone. Semyon Zolotaryov, also with crushed ribs. Yet their clothes showed no tearing, as if the force that struck them came from the inside. Others wore pieces of clothing from their dead friends, clothes that, when tested, revealed traces of radioactivity. The official Soviet explanation? Compelling natural force. What kind of natural force? Tears out tongues? Breaks bones without a mark? Leaves no footprints but your own? Theories emerged like shadows. An avalanche? A military test gone wrong? A secret paranormal event? Or did they see something that wasn't meant to be seen? Something ancient. Something watching. Because the last photo from their camera isn't a portrait or a mountain. It's a blurry shape, dark, towering, taken just before the tent was torn open. They called it Frame 34. In our final episode, we dive into the forbidden, the secrets the Soviet Union tried to bury, the classified files, the vanished witnesses, and what the Mansi people warned about all along, that some mountains are not meant to be climbed, some truths are buried, others are erased, and some are whispered, only when the snow falls heavy enough to hide the bodies. The Dyatlov hikers, 9 souls lost in the white, left behind more than just frozen footprints. They left behind a riddle that Russia itself may not want answered. Investigators came, measured footprints, catalogued corpses, filed reports that said nothing. Cause of death, hypothermia. No foul play suspected. Case closed. But behind closed doors, whispers grew. Why were the files sealed? Why were some pages missing? Why did witnesses, rescue workers, even officers, suddenly stop talking? One investigator, decades later, said, "We weren't told to find the truth. We were told to find something acceptable." Then came the locals, the Mansi tribe, hunters, keepers of the land. They said the pass was cursed, that Kholat Syakhl was sacred, a place where no man should walk. Some say the hikers disturbed something old, something that doesn't like to be seen. Not a spirit, not a ghost, but something watching, waiting. In their final hours, the Dyatlov group may have tried to return to the tent. Some didn't make it. Some hid. Some fell. But what about the photo? Frame 34. A blur. A shadow. Too large to be human. Too distorted to be explained. Some say it was a camera malfunction. Others think it captured the very last thing they saw. In 2019, the Russian government reopened the case. The final answer? Avalanche. But experts, climbers, and physicists disagreed. No snow pattern matched. No trauma explained the injuries. And so we're left with what we began with. 9 dead. A shredded tent. Bones broken from the inside. No animal. No enemy. No answer. Only snow. Silence. And a name whispered through the wind. Dyatlov. Today, visitors still go to the pass. Some say it feels peaceful. Others say they hear voices in the trees. Footsteps where no one walks. And in the stillness, you might feel it too, that something is still there, buried, waiting, just beneath the snow.